Hey, what's going on, everyone? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Chirrut Imwe from Rogue One. So Rogue One is one of my favorites, and Chirrut was such a good character, so I am super happy to finally have this one. And as you can see, comes in a Galaxy packaging, got Star Wars The Black Series up top, nice big window. You can see Chirrut with the updated face, love that. I think that looks really, really nice. He comes with two accessories. You have his light bow and his staff, pretty cool. And then you have Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and Chirrut Imwe down there. On this side of the box, the front window wraps around, and then you have Star Wars The Black Series again down there. And on this side of the box with the artwork, you have a really, really nice looking picture of Chirrut. I love that. And this color, this teal color, is just beautiful. There's a small window on the top of the box. On the bottom, you got the barcode in very small print that no one reads. And on the back, you got the same picture as the side. You got a bio in 5 different languages. Chirrut is number 4 in this little Rogue One wave, and then you have some more stuff that no one reads. I'm going to get Chirrut Imwe open, and let's take a look at him. All right, so here is Chirrut Imwe out of the box. Let's just get a good look at him. We'll start up here with this face, this new face. So I don't have one of the old ones to compare to, but if I put it next to one of the old ones, yeah, this is a vast improvement. I mean, this looks really, really good. Yeah, the eyes and the nose and the mouth, skin tone is pretty good. I think the hair sculpt is very nice. I mean, this is a great Donnie Yen likeness. I think they did a really nice job on this new face. I got no complaints there. And from the neck down, I'm sure it is identical to the original. Maybe the paint may be a little cleaner in places, but we'll still take a look at it. So you got this little white thing or kind of cream colored thing going around. This is a separate piece that appears to be glued like up here. It just wraps around. You got this thing hanging down that's made out of plastic, but it's got some great folds and waves. I mean, this looks really good. It's a great looking sculpt. But this right here, this Echo Box transmitter, this looks great. Nice detail, especially all up in here. All this little fine detail looks fantastic. Little red paint there is really clean. They even got a little paint right here. Very nice. This red's very clean, but just a cool looking little device there. And as far as the shirt, I mean, it's just a black shirt, but you got this little white thing going along there on his upper arm, but great looking wrinkles. Nice detail throughout. All this looks fantastic. Love the wrinkles on this sleeve. Skin tone on the hands and wrists look pretty good. This gauntlet is nicely done. I love this. This little bit of silver, red, little armor plate on the back of his hand with some straps going around the thumb. I mean, that is just cool. I love these little wraps right here, this little texture, fantastic. And from the waist down, it is kind of a combination of cloth and plastic. You know, like I mentioned, this thing hangs down, so this is plastic. This is all cloth, it's red and black, but it looks pretty good. It hangs nice. I mean, it was a little fiddly right out of the box. It was a little unruly. This still wants to kind of flare out, but it's no big deal. I'm hoping over time it'll kind of lay down, but the stripe looks great. It's a nice material. It's really, really soft. And yeah, totally gets the job done. The red comes around, and then you also have these two little bits back here that hang free that are also made out of cloth. They want to sit like that, so you can't really see them, but they are there, and I appreciate the attention to detail. I mean, maybe over time they'll flatten out, but that's what that looks like. But I'm kind of liking this combination cloth and plastic. I mean, this works really well, especially if you wanted to get him in some really dynamic poses with his legs. That will really allow the legs to stretch out nicely. And speaking of legs, there they are, just black with some great wrinkles and got a little thing down. Maybe this is like the elastic band at the bottom. They kind of bunch up down here. But the sculpt is absolutely killer. Love these pants. That's what the back looks like. You know, just nice and baggy pants. I mean, they look great, you know, just like they're supposed to look. And there's a good look at the shoes. They're just great shoes. But again, nice sculpt, nice subtle details throughout. I think they did a really nice job on the shoes. Yeah, it's a good looking, yeah, this is a good looking figure. I am really happy to have this. All right, so now let's take a look at articulation on Chirrut. So he's got some side to side of the head. Tilt is practically non-existent. He can look way down and he can look up to about right there. The arms get up that far and they can rotate all the way around. Single elbows that just barely get to 90. There's a swivel at the elbow, a swivel at the wrist. Now Chirrut has an amazing up and down hinge on the right hand. That is beautiful. And there's a side to side on the left, but it's kind of blocked by this armor plate and this gauntlet, so you really don't get a whole lot of movement there. There's a little bit of twist at the midsection. He can't really crunch forward too much. can't really go back much, and not much in the way of side to side. He is pretty rigid in here. And if I get all this cloth out of the way, you can see that he does have an upper thigh swivel. And it's nice that this is cloth, so that allows the legs to get up to there. And they can go out that far. They go back just to there. He has double jointed knees. They get all the way up. The feet go down that far. They don't go up very much at all. And you've got some swivel at the ankle. So as far as articulation, it's not terrible, but I do wish he was a little more mobile in the midsection, and I do wish the elbows were a little better. All right, so now let's take a look at his accessories. We'll start with this staff, and this thing is nicely detailed. I love all this in here. I mean, this just looks fantastic. Nicely detailed. Nice little sculpt there. The staff itself really looks like it's made out of a stick. I mean, this is really, really cool. And just so you know, this thing does come apart. I'm not sure why, but it does come apart. But man, that sculpt is awesome. And there's a good look at his light bow. So I did find out that this end is an E11. These things are made out of an E11. And yes, I can sort of see an E11 in there. But man, the paint is just beautiful throughout. All this gold, nice gold there, a gold trigger. That's a nice touch. Sculpt just looks fantastic all in here. Love this. Love the detail all in here. The little side things can be moved, and these also can pop out. Okay, you can take those off if you want to, but they just snap right in. They can go out that way. And this front part, okay, that comes apart. And once you have it in, it's got here. It's got like a little stop on it. So it's only going to go in so far. And also that stop will just allow it to rotate this way. Okay, it can't rotate the other way because it's stopped by that little nubbin back here. So it does rotate in this direction. If you're looking at it, it's going to rotate counterclockwise and then stop again. So that's pretty cool. So you have two different configurations as far as how he can hold it. He can hold it like this, or you can spin it back around and he can hold it like this, like a traditional bowcaster. But that is a nice looking weapon. Great. I mean, all this in here. I mean, this is just crazy detailed. Gold throughout. Love all this. I mean, this is a really, really cool looking weapon. And I loved seeing him fire this thing in the show. So I'm really glad that they included this. All right, so let's see how he holds his weapon. So we'll start with the staff, and you can just slide it through one hand and into the other hand. Okay, so he holds that very well in two hands. And of course, you can slide this anywhere you want pretty much. I mean, you got lots of options as far as two-handed posing. And as far as having it just in one hand, I mean, this wrist hinge right here is incredible. So you can have it just kind of down beside him like this, holding it in one hand. I think that's a pretty cool look. And again, if you want to have it like this, just tip the wrist up. I mean, that looks pretty neat, like he's just holding it. Yeah, kind of like that. But I will probably keep it in two hands, you know, sort of a ready stance, like he's getting ready to smack somebody upside the head with this thing. And that's a pretty good look. I mean, you have some incredible range in this wrist. The elbows are not the greatest, but being just a stick, I think you could still get him in some pretty good poses with this thing. And yeah, this staff is great. All right, so next let's see about the light bow. So I think for two-handed posing, I'm going to drop it in the left hand first because this left hand is super tight. Then I'm going to try to get it in the right hand when it's already in the left hand. See if I can drop this in there like, there we go. Okay, not bad. If you have it like this, the trigger finger doesn't quite make it to the trigger. I mean, his hand is around the grip, but the trigger finger doesn't quite make it to the trigger. But for two-handed aiming, that is actually a pretty good look. Well, actually in the movie, he was actually looking somewhere else as opposed to the direction he was firing. That looks great. I like that. It's a pretty cool weapon, and he holds it pretty good in two hands. I mean, like I said, the elbows aren't the greatest. If he had butterfly joints and better elbows, you could really get this thing in some, I mean, like up here, but that doesn't look bad, him just firing low like that. And like I mentioned, you can rotate this part counterclockwise and have him firing like that, which is also a pretty good look. I mean, this is an awesome weapon. Yeah, that's not bad. I think I kind of like it in the traditional bowcaster look, you know, with these horizontal. And I think that looks fantastic. Here, let me have him looking somewhere else. There we go. Firing this way, but looking that way. Yeah, that's Chirrut. And something else I found, if you want to have the staff in his hand, the light bow can go on his back. You can just slip one of these little arms through here. It looks kind of funny, but at least all of his weapons are on him. And that looks okay. You could play with it a little bit, try to get this thing to sit right. But these do fit through there if you want to have that thing on his back. And that's what he looks like on the shelf. And if you noticed, I turned the lights on in here to the same color as the box, the Rogue One boxes. But man, what a great looking figure. He looks awesome on the shelf. So as far as height, he's about the same height as Bodhi, maybe a little shorter than Cassian, but man, he looks really good on the shelf. I can't wait to get Baze. So Baze will go right there in that space. And then the updated Cassian will go right here in between Jyn and Bodhi. But man, Chirrut looks fantastic. I love this figure. So happy to have this one. So yeah, this is a good looking figure. I mean, especially this face. This updated face is great. I mean, spot on Donnie Yen likeness. The eyes are just awesome. The nose, the mouth, the hair, everything from the neck up is just wonderful. Really happy with this. And from the neck down, it's what Chirrut was wearing. The black, the white straps up here, the little box here, the echo box. Love this. I mean, this really looks good. Great detail all throughout this thing. I mean, this is amazing. But, you know, the cloth down here looks really nice. It hangs nice. I'm hoping over time this may kind of sit down a little better, but it's not bad. But the red and white stripe here is great. Red. Beautiful shade of red. Love this. This back here, it does its job. You know, some people don't like when they combine plastic and cloth. I think this is fine. But you got some great detail on this staff. I mean, right down to the tip. I mean, this thing looks fantastic. And I think the reason why they made it come apart is if you wanted to slip it through this side and then slip the other end through this hand and then connect it. You know, that could be why they made it come apart right there. But man, what a cool weapon. This gauntlet is awesome. Yeah, top to bottom, great figure. And I think this light bow is pretty sweet. I mean, the detail throughout is amazing. All this gold through here, little gold through here, the texturing, all this in here. The gold trigger of all things. They painted the trigger gold. I mean, that is just awesome. And the fact that they made this rotate, you know, just so far, you know, they incorporated that little stop so it just can't spin around. It's only going to go so far. So I think that's a brilliant idea. Cool looking weapon. I'm not sure that I'll have him on the shelf with this, but I'm really glad that they included it because it is an awesome, awesome looking weapon. But please comment below. I want to hear from you guys and let me know what you think of Chirrut Imwe. And if you like videos on Star Wars The Black Series, please consider dropping a like on this one, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please turn on notifications. I'm always posting something. I would certainly appreciate it, and I just thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.